man's up in the house. A man's up in his house. So, another fun-filled day of activities. Learning in academia. Counting by twos, tying my shoes. Hey, it's Fran, man. Hey, it's Fran, man. Can count by two and tie my shoes. Hey, it's Fran, man. Hey, it's Fran, man. Look at me, I can count by twos and tie my shoes. Hey, it's Fran, man. That's probably literally the only reason I can count by two, because I can't do long division in head. My head does not compute long division. So instead of turning, I'm going to go forward. My head can't compute long division, and I have a feeling the only reason I can actually count by twos is because I watch Franklin. It's because I watch Franklin. I watched the Canadian cartoon Franklin growing up, and that's the only reason that I can count by twos and tie my shoes. The turtle, Franklin the turtle. What was the one that Bill Cosby voiced, where it was the black guy, where it was the bald black kid? I forgot. I watched that too. The only reason I can count by twos is because I watched Franklin, guys. So, what else was I getting at? I might be moving up in the world again. I might be moving up in the world again. First, I was mopping floors. Next week, it's the fries, and I'm also Franier Suisse. We've already established that I'm Franier Suisse because I released the schmedium play of the Kelly tape, and it made Vegan Patriot accuse me of doxing her, which is why she set up the Victoria J snakening, because she likes to smoke crack and do crack. She's in the crack and crack accessories business, as well as the butt crack business. She's in the butt crack and crack accessories business, and she set up the Victoria J snakening because I released the schmedium play of the Kelly tape back when I recently moved up in the world temporarily. I have spurts of moving up in the world. I have spurts of entering big business, so to speak. I'm like Forrest Gump. I'm Francis Gump. I'm Fran Man Gump. I'm Fran Man Gumby. I'm Hakuna Matata. I'm disappointed at the live action stage play version of SpongeBob. I'm disappointed at the new art style of new SpongeBob media. And you can tell me it's not meant for me all you want, but SpongeBob was the only thing that was good in the world aside from Pixar movies. And now it's not. And I don't know where we go from here. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I also need to pull over and eat my Joey Diaz pizza. I need to pull over and eat my Joey Diaz pizza, but I'm having a good time. I don't know the rest of the lyrics to that song. So here we are having the live stream. And I know what you're saying. I think I'm going to die. But I also know what you're saying. And you're saying how do you know what I'm saying? And how do you know that I'm even saying anything? And I don't know, but I do. And furthermore, you're saying how can one man How can one man move up so many times? How can one man descend and ascend so many times? A man does not ascend and descend the totem pole of life so many times. And shut up. Just fucking shut up. Shut up. Stop telling me how things are, okay? Stop psychically telling me how things are. Because it's not. Because it's not. Shut up. Stop telling me what to do. Fucking bitch. Anyway. So. Yeah, I gotta pull over and eat my Joey Diaz pizza and shut up. Also. Bitch. Bitch. We're not on speaking terms right now. Shut up while PWR is on. Fuck. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. Why don't they sell the loose candy at Publix anymore? Huh? Tell me that. Why don't they sell the loose candy at Publix anymore? That was a good time. Who doesn't like loose candy? Who doesn't like bagging their own candy? Remember when you used to bag your own candy? I like loose candy. What does everyone have against loose candy? Remember when they sold you candy by the weight? I remember when they sold you candy by the weight. That was a good time. You could actually probably get a jawbreaker for 25 cents back then. You could have lived as Ed, Edd and Eddy, but they took the brick and mortar world away from you. They took the brick and mortar world away from you and gave you Amazon Prime. Why? 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 Why did they give us Amazon Prime and take away the brick and mortar world? Wouldn't it have been sweet? Wouldn't it be sweet to still live in the United States that's full of malls? Wouldn't it still be cool to have a United States mall culture filled with brick and mortar stores? We don't have enough brick and mortar stores. They're getting rid of all the brick and mortar stores. Why? And for what? For what? And for what? And for why? And for why? I just want to know why Publix doesn't sell loose candy anymore. They got rid of the loose candy because they want us to think we live in a society that's not high trust. Why don't they have food courts where they're selling fair food? And I'm not talking about, why don't they have American food truck lots? Why don't they have American food truck lots where I can sell fried Oreos? I want to open a food truck and sell fried Oreos and ramen. I want to sell people ramen to order alongside fried Oreos and churros. Call it Fran Man's Food Truck. I just want to know why Publix doesn't sell loose candy anymore. Is it because they don't believe in America anymore? Does Publix not believe in the United States anymore? I don't either, but I need to know. It's a valid question. Do you think that we don't live in a high-trust society, Publix? Because we don't. But I think it would be better if I still had access to loose candy that I can bag and weigh myself at Publix. It would be so awesome. It would be so sweet. It would be everything a man could hope and dream for. If Publix brought back the loose candy, so that I can be a real boy again. I want game demo displays back in the electronics department of brick and mortar stores that have electronics departments. Fran Man has a dream that they'll bring loose candy back to Publix and make America right again. I have a dream that they'll bring back the old video game display cases, complete with game demo displays, at brick and mortar electronics departments across this great nation. Why? They still had game demos in the 2010s at GameStop. They had game demos at GameStop in the 2010s. I remember playing Rayman Legends like it was yesterday during the holiday season, during Black Friday. I remember playing Rayman Legends on a brick and mortar game store demo display. Once upon a time, they had game demos at Walmart's electronics departments all across America, and Publix used to have loose candy that you could bag and weigh and pay by the weight for. Once upon a time in America, back when electronic departments' games display cases were great, they had game demos hooked up to a tiny TV, and you could play the video game in the electronic departments of the stores, of the brick and mortar stores. Why must traffic increase in volume again? Why? Just to watch me suffer? Suffer, friend man? That's what the Department of Transportation of Florida is saying to me. The Department of Transportation of Florida is going, suffer, Francis. Suffer. They're going, suffer, Francis. They're going, I heard good things are happening to you, Francis. It would be a shame if the Department of Transportation increases the time of your commute in the morning, young man. That's what they said to little old Fran man. They said, Fran man, I heard you were having a good old time, Fran man. That's what the Department of Transportation is saying to me. That's what Big Brother's saying to me as they're looking down from their Palantir orb. They're saying, Fran man, I heard you're having a good old time. I heard you're having a fun little time, Fran man. I heard things are looking up for you, Fran man. It'd be a shame if the Florida Department of Transportation were to shut it all down and to increase your daily commute time, Fran man. That's what they're saying to little old Fran man. That's what the Florida Department of Transportation is looking down and saying to little old Fran man from the top of their ivory tower. And I have one question for you, Florida Department of Transportation. Do you like to watch a working man suffer? Does that make you feel tough? Does that make you feel like a big man, Florida Department of Transportation? To watch the best VR boxer in the world suffer? Suffer, Fran man. That's what they're saying. Does it make you feel good? Does it? Do you get anything out of it? Or is it just a waste of your time and mine? Is it just a waste of your time and mine? And I know what you're saying, Fran man, are you testing your acting chops? Are you testing your acting chops, Fran man? Are you auditioning for the role of Jebediah Goldstriker, Fran man? Is that what you're doing? Because you'll never get it. And I know what you're saying. You're saying Francis, Fran Dizzle, F-Dog. You're saying F-Dog. Papa Squat. Let me level with you real quick, F-Dog. That's what you're saying. I can hear you now. You're saying F-Dog. Don't count out the Agua Fresca food truck business yet. Because I don't think you're going to get that role, young man. I don't think that's in the cards for you, Fran, man. Maybe you may be right. But I remember when America had demo displays in the video game display cases of the electronic department. I remember when there was a good time to be had in that aisle. I remember it like it was yesterday. Why did they take that away from us? The world was a better place then. The world was a better place back then. back when you could go to the electronic department of Walmart and they would have video game demos waiting for you. They would have video game demos waiting for you right in the electronic department video game aisle. It was all so gorgeous. I remember when the video game box art used to be amazing. I remember when they sold you Nintendo 64 cartridges in cardboard boxes. I remember. Do you remember? I do. I was there. I was literally there. And then AI had to ruin nostalgia for me. AI had to try to sweep in and take over my nostalgia content that reminded me of the good old days. You're a stupid homosexual. Oh, no. You're a stupid homosexual. Oh, no. You're a stupid homosexual. I almost got T-boned. I almost got hit by a car. Almost got hit by a car. Almost got hit by a car today. Do you remember that you're a flagrant homosexual? Oh, no, you're a flagrant homosexual. Oh, no, you're a flagrant homosexual. And that was a long ass line, but I had to get some original sweet tarts to go with the pizza. I had to get some original sweet tarts. I'm just that kind of guy. I'm gonna put some on the OG sweet tarts. They had sweet tart gummy rings in there, and I'm like, if I'm paying $1, bro, give me the original sweet tarts. Give me the real deal. Give me the real deal. Alright. And of course I'm a Joey Diaz up the sweet tarts. I'm gonna get some Joey Diaz action on the sweet tarts here. Alright. Here we go. Alright. The sweet tart has been Joey Diaz. Now absorb into it. Absorb into the sweet tart. Here. I can't get it on camera. You can kind of see it. Yeah, you can't. Alright, people. You don't really need to see everything I'm doing. Because some people around me are going to be weird. I don't even know if I have time to eat pizza here. Because I can't trust no one. You can never relax when you live where I live. You can't eat your work lunch in peace here. I gotta get home anyway. Everyone be speaking the weird languages, friend. Everyone around me be speaking the wrong language. Let's get another Joey Diaz. Let's get another Joey Diaz sweet tart while we're at the stoplight here. That's a good time for one. There's never a bad time for a Joey Diaz sweet tart. We got the Fran Man Diaz sweet tart here. What, I could go for another Joey Diaz sweet tart right now. That would be nice. That would be nice. A little Joey Diaz sweet tart. How about a little Joey Diaz sweet tart action while in motion? Motion of the ocean. There we go. Now it's all done up. Down the hatch she goes. Let's see, that was 3 Joey Diaz sweet tarts. We're at another red light. We're at another red light. A good time for a Joey Diaz sweet tart. Never a bad time for a Joey Diaz sweet tart. The OD sweet tart. I used to eat these as if they were edible pencils. back when I was in school. Alright. Time for another Joey Diaz sweetheart at stoplight. Never a bad time for one. That one's got some weight to it. There we go, Joey Diaz sweetheart. Alright. I mean, why not when you're at a red light? I'm playing red light and green light with my brain synapses, not the stoplight. The Florida Department of Transportation's traffic lights don't decide when my brain's in motion. My brain synapses are moving and grooving when I got a roll of sweethearts and the ability to make Joey Diaz sweethearts at the traffic light. No one's ever going to stop my good time. No one's ever going to stop my good time when I paid $1 for a roll of sweethearts and I got a bottle of tinctures nearby, because then I could make me some Joey Diaz sweethearts right at the traffic light. Never a bad time for a Joey Diaz sweetheart. Imagine if he was watching the Star Wars prequels and THC tinctures was legal. If the internet wasn't around and THC tinctures was legal, imagine how lit watching The Matrix in theaters would have been if you had a bottle of THC tinctures back in the day. You know, why couldn't we have fine cinema in the era of legal marijuana? Why couldn't we have fine cinema in the era of legal marijuana? They had to give us AI. They had to give us AI in the era of legal marijuana instead of giving us the ability to watch The Matrix, the original Matrix, while THC tinctures were legal. We didn't have the ability to watch the Star Wars prequels with legally accessible THC tinctures. But imagine if you was watching the Star Wars prequels for the first time and THC tinctures was legal. You could be disappointed at Jar Jar Binks in real time. You could be disappointed at Jar Jar Binks in real time, but they didn't want you to have access to medical marijuana tinctures when the Star Wars prequels was coming out. But imagine being able to watch that fine cinema without the internet being what it is today. Without the internet being what it is today, without smartphones being what they are today. Smartphones really killed the internet more than anything, if you ask me. Smartphones really killed the internet more than anything, if you ask old Fran Man. And Fran Man is an old man. Fran Man's an old man, if you ask old Fran Man. Yep. Back in my day, we had Super Mario Sunshine. Back in my day, Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Kart Double Dash was in. And Super Smash Bros. Melee. Back in my day, they had Mario and Luigi in the street basketball games on the GameCube. Yep, you could use Luigi in a dunk contest.